water on the tail. They don't when my water turn up, Dad. Why are you going back there?
Yeah, with all the dew on here from this morning, we don't want to get wet, so we're going to put this here so we don't get wet. Alrighty. Can you push this up? It's kind of hard thinking back to the first day that the chickens arrived as chicks here and feeding them for the first time, knowing that this is the last time that I'm going to be feeding them. It's kind of interesting to think about. They're so much bigger since that time, just not too long ago. Before you process your birds, you want to cut off their feed 12 hours before then, so that way there's no feed and inside them, their crop and things like that, so you're not having to deal with that mess. So we're going to feed them now for processing tomorrow morning. So we'll take away the feed later today, later this afternoon, early evening. But before I give them the feed, we're going to move them on the fresh grass. This won't be the last time I move them. I've been moving them about twice a day at least. So we're going to move them now, give them feed and new water, and come back later on, move them again, and take away their feed. I may have given you too much, looks like. Looks good. Good job, fellas. Well, today is the day. This is the day of processing our meat birds, our Cornish crosses. And we've been looking forward to this day. And in a lot of ways, because this will be a number of chicken dinners that we'll have. But I'm not sure if everyone will be up to it or not. This is our first birds that we're going to be processing here on our homestead. So hopefully everyone can do it. So we're still figuring out a number of systems to process our birds for going forward. But right now our transport here is just my truck with some fencing on top of it that Laura helped me out, family friend, and Ben's mom, for those of you who watch our video on a normal basis and know about Ben. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start transporting some of the birds out of the chicken tractor and putting them right in here in the back of the truck. It'll be ready to have them. This will be like their prep area. We'll drive this truck right over there to where we're gonna be processing them. And the kids have put some nice straw down for them to be comfortable while they're waiting. There. Got some weight on it. No, you just keep moving. This was heavy. Go with that, see how this goes. Alrighty, well, we're just about ready to get started. And for our processing stations here, we have multiple stations. The first station will be our cones. We're going to put the chickens into the cones, slit them, and let them drain out right in here into our buckets, and we'll use that later on for composting and just improving things in the garden. And then our next station, after the chickens are there, we're going to move them over here to the scalder, and that is good because that helps to loosen the feathers up so the feathers come off, and to be ready to go into the plucker, where the plucker takes the feathers off and makes the meat all nice and neat for you. And then from the plucker, we'll take them all the way over here to right here, where the ladies will be really going to town, eviscerating them, processing them here, and then put them in the different baths that they'll be going in. And we have our knife set up here, so we're just about ready. All right, we're gonna give them some water, and just to make sure they're comfortable while they're still waiting. We want to make their life as best as we can while we're here. Even though they're being processed today, there's no reason to make it rough on them. And some water. So you can see they're pretty thirsty, so next I'm going to grab something to cover them, give them a little shaded area to be in, so they're not just totally in the sun. I don't know about you, but I feel pretty good about this now. They have an area that they can go away from the sun and be in the shade, stay cool, and also get the water that they need. So trying to make them as comfortable as we can while they're waiting. Alright, so our heater was not getting hot enough here with our propane tank, so we decided to improvise and use our Kelvin cultivator flame weeder here to try to help get our heat to where it needs to be here in the pot. So, what about you, Adam? I think it's heating it up.
Looks like it.
That was hot. What do you think? It looks like it's good to me.
Yeah, it probably is now. It's
all right.
Over 150 there, isn't it?
Come here, I want to show you something. All right, when we come over here and it's time for us to do that, you're gonna press that button. You do that. There we go. Yep.
Getting ready?
Yep, getting ready.
When you go in, when you're killing, you don't want to hit the esophagus. You want to go behind the esophagus so they can still breathe. Because they're not, they just pass out, you know, if you don't hit the esophagus. But if you do, it kind of chokes them and then they start flogging and flapping around, which you did.
I think that one's... Right. So we got our water right at 150, a little bit above. Putting her in there, like that. Actually, I guess you could bring the other one so we have two at a time. This is based on what we talked about.
Okay, that'd be good.
One of the things you start looking for is seeing if the feathers come out pretty easy. That one's not coming out really. That one's coming out a little bit, and also the scales around here not coming off yet, so need to be a little bit longer. Yeah, see that starting to come off. Josiah, Micah, who's gonna push it?
Me!
I also like to check the feathers, make sure they're coming. Oh, that's coming out. That one's good.
I'm gonna push
Sure.
it.
Yep.
I'm
I'm fine either way you want to do it. You're here helping me, so whatever you want to do. All right. You ready to push the button? We got to turn the water on. Here we go. Turn it on. Turn it on. Push that button. Push it in. Yeah, click it. There you go. See that? Knocking all those feathers off. Kind of glance. We don't want to beat it up too much. Like it might be close. Yep. Just like that. See, it's got all those feathers off there in a matter of seconds.
It's a chicken.
Yep. Doing that by hand. Wait longer than a few seconds. All right, coming right over here to our next station.
You can cut the hotel off. You know.
That's fine with
Okay,
me.
so we'll just cut the hotel off. So it's easy. And then the lungs are hard to see. Right there. There's a lung. Right there.
So Adam, how long have you been processing chickens?
5 years.
5 years?
Yeah, 5, 6 years, something like that.
Great.
Yeah.
And what got you into doing it?
Look at him. You can't
Yes,
buy food like this.
No, you can't.
Really that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so much better.
It's interesting how so many people started really getting more involved in the homesteading in different aspects about anywhere between 5 and 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's weird.
And
Isn't
there's
it?
a huge wave of us that
Yep,
kind of started
I know.
really getting into it.
I know. We all started waking up at the same time. I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
Something I want to mention, and it is, you don't get joy out of taking the life of anything. No one in their right, stable mindset enjoys necessarily taking the life of these animals. That's nowhere near what it's about at all, and I do want to stress that heavily. It's about providing for your needs to continue on in this human life experience, and we try our best to take care of these animals as best we can while they're alive and here. We love all the creatures, all the animals, and while they're here, do our best to take care of them. There's a proverb related to that a righteous man has a regard for his animals, and all animals. And just because you process them for your own consumption, that doesn't mean that you don't have regard for the animals. So it's touching to know that this animal was giving its life for our lives. All right, so we're at halfway through, just under halfway. We did 20 birds. We have about 27 left, and we're gonna go pick up the other ones up there in the grass area that they're in the chicken tractor. But right now, the birds that we have here, we've had some that have been in the vinegar bath here, and that one's coming out. Selah,
Yeah.
you're doing a fantastic job this time. Last time you were a little more scared and staying away, but this time you're getting more hands-on, and I'm so happy to see that. Look at there. And then you're putting them in here. What's this one here?
This is just where they go to cool.
Okay. What was that?
It's the pink bath. It's the blood. It's the drain out the blood more, whatever's left. And then we're getting ready to move these into this other cooler, so the other batch can go in there.
Alrighty. Well, we're gonna go pick up those other birds, and we'll be right back. Get more than one next time. All right, halftime's over. We're doing the second batch now, the second half of our flock. Here we go. So this is your first time doing all this, right?
Yep,
How's it feel?
feels good.
A little empowering?
Yeah, I can do it.
There you go. So you've gotten this part down, and you've been working over there at the Evisceration table. So here in just a few minutes, you can take them through the scalder,
All right,
then the plucker, and then back to the table.
I'll do it.
Alright, and for this, you just turn it on. And then Push the green button in all the way. And then watch your face. Yeah, keep your mouth closed and eyes closed. And it shoots it all up.
Rocking and rolling.
Selah, you and Cindy are doing a great job.
Doing a great job.
Got a little more confidence this time?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about doing this? You're just doing it?
Yeah.
You like chicken dinners, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, winter chicken dinner. So Mark, what do you think about all this? Think you could do it?
No.
No. But they're doing a great job, aren't they?
Yeah.
Have you seen it done before?
I was about 6 years old.
About 6 years old. Yeah. Not many people
Pull
do.
the feather down.
Yeah, it takes so much longer to pull them out. I've done that before too. It's just a matter of seconds doing it right here. But it takes 30 minutes at least to do it, maybe. But by hand, 15, 20, 30 minutes. But anyways, it takes a long time, a lot longer. So Adam and I were just chatting. We both plucked the feathers by hand before, and it takes about 15 minutes or so per bird versus less than 10 seconds over there with the plucker. Huge time saver. Definitely worth it if you can get one or borrow one or whatever. So Adam, you have everybody set up on a little conveyor belt type system here?
Yeah.
Disassembly line?
Disassembly line, yeah.
Mark's the one that came up with the disassembly line.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Mark.
Yeah.
So what is the first part of this disassembly line?
So I take it and take the head off, the feet, and loosen the crop,
Okay.
and then make an incision here and loosen the innards, and then pass it along for Laura to take everything out, and then Sydney's taking it out and Selah's taking the offal. Isn't it called offal?
I think so.
Yeah,
think
taking
so.
the offal out.
There we go.
Yeah. It's awful.
Awful's awful. Right down here, what do we have here?
This is the liver and the hearts.
Okay.
I didn't get mine out.
We got our organ meat to keep in there.
Yep.
You got that.
And organ meat is one of those things that most people don't eat them, but they are can be so good for you. Actually, we need more of that in your diet. And there was actually a podcast that I was listening to not too long ago from Weston A. Price, Wise Traditions podcast, and they talked about the benefits of eating organ meat. And I'm gonna leave that link in the show notes below, but I definitely recommend checking it out. And speaking of links to check out, Adam, you have your own YouTube channel as well with your family?
Yeah, it's Farm Life Outfitters.
I'm gonna leave the link in the show notes below for his channel as well. Definitely make sure you check these guys out. They're doing some pretty amazing things. What are some of the things you guys got going on right now on your homestead?
Mainly the garden.
Garden.
So, yeah, we focused on tomatoes this year, and we have 600 tomato plants. Yeah.
And they are crushing it with the tomatoes that they're producing off of these plants. You said what, 1,000 pounds here recently?
Yeah, we picked
crazy.
1,000 pounds in 2 weeks.
And that's even before July 4th, when most people say that's usually when you start harvesting tomatoes. So he's doing it before that.
Yeah.
And you guys are getting ready to process chickens that are coming up too, right?
Yeah, in the next couple weeks.
And how many will you guys be processing?
About 100.
About 100. So there we go.
Yeah.
This is like a warm up for him.
Yeah.
My second chicken.
So how's it going over here, ladies?
Good.
Good. It looks like you have a lot more confidence this time than when we were at Sow the Land with Jason and Mr. Rain and Penelope. You're hands-on big time this time.
Yep.
How does it feel? Does it give you a little more confidence doing all this? And make you feel good?
I want to degut chickens again.
It's degut. You're doing a great job there. So what about you? How do you think about and how do you feel about doing what we're doing today and processing our own meat birds?
It feels good getting it done and knowing that we're gonna have meat and it's, you know, our own and sustainable and I don't know, food security at its finest.
I keep thinking the word of empower. It's
Yes.
empowering
Yes.
doing these type of things for yourself.
And it's scary. I'm not gonna say it's not scary. We don't enjoy this whole process
No.
as far as the butchering goes, but the end result is what we look forward to and really appreciate the life that has been given for our lives.
Yeah, it's not something you're saying, oh, this is fun, I'm looking forward to it, but it is enjoyable to do this here together with others and with things that we have produced here on the farm. On the
And it's
homestead.
great learning from Adam and Sydney. She's been helping out here too.
She's going to town over there.
And you know, this is only our second time, but we have someone else that's learning the process too for their homestead.
Yeah.
So it's just like every phase of the process is right here.
That's pretty neat to think about.
It is.
That knowledge is being shared in multiple ways today.
That's right.
It's pretty awesome.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
How you feel about this, Micah?
Good.
Good? You've been wanting to do this for some time now. Talked about wanting to process chickens and looking forward to it.
Yep.
Yep.
When we first got him, he said he wanted to eat them. So, you know, this is about that time.
You looking forward to some chicken dinners?
Yep.
Yep. So both Selah and Mike are out here. Josiah wasn't up for it, but that's okay. We each need to do it in our own time. I encourage everyone to have seen this process in person at least once in your lifetime. If you eat meat, I highly, highly recommend it. It's very impactful. Selah wasn't totally up for it when we were with Sow the Land, but she's very, very hands-on today. What about you? Have you ever processed any type of livestock before? Chicken, beef, whatever? Let me know in the comment section below. Down to my last 4 chickens here. And Lacie mentioned earlier about being scared to do things like this. Getting pushed out of your comfort zone is scary for anybody. But that's the only way for us to grow. Grow in character, grow in knowledge, grow in whatever we need to grow in, spiritually, mentally, you name it. Even physically. To grow, it forces us to be uncomfortable at times and to do things that we're not used to doing. But we have to do it. And we're continuing to do it as part of growing on. Something I continue to mention throughout our vlogs. Finishing up the last 2 birds here, and these ladies have been doing fantastic. I am impressed. And this is what we've really been doing all day, just hanging out right here, watching them as they were.
Yeah, giving instructions.
Oh, Adam, we really, really appreciate you all coming out to help and for your advice. And, it's been great.
Yeah, good. Glad to work with you.
Definitely can't wait to visit your place. Super excited about that.
Yeah, anytime.
Now we're at the last part of the processing of the chickens. Laura has been doing an excellent job helping us clean up. So we've been cleaning up, and now it's the part where we actually let the chickens dry out, and then we bag them and put them away for when it's time to eat our chicken dinners. So first part of what we're gonna do is lay them out all on the table, let them dry out, and then we're gonna use our shrink bags that we've ordered from Amazon. And speaking of that, the equipment that we use have been, we've borrowed from some friends of ours, Tyler and Whitney, and we really appreciate you guys letting us borrow all this equipment. The plucker has been a huge help, as well as the cones and a number of other things that you let us borrow. And thank you very much. All right, so this is the quality control portion of what we're doing as we're drying them out. The ladies are just going around and checking them to see if anything was missed along the way, just to make sure everything looks fine.
Yeah.
So, how's everything looking? How are all the birds?
Everything looks good. I mean, you can't complain about the size, for sure. And we got these from Murray McMurray, and you definitely can't complain. I mean, look at this. That is a big chicken.
Yeah.
And we use, you know, our local grain meal. Barrier Farms, their non-GMO broiler feed, and I think it has really turned out great.
Yeah, I've been really happy about the feed that we use from Barrier Meal, so make sure if you're in our area, you find a way to support them because they have really good products and really good feed for layers, broilers, chicks, you name it. They have a lot of different feeds. As well as, like Lacie mentioned, from Murray McMurray Hatchery, which we got these birds from, and I have been extremely happy with the way they turned out. We had people warned us about raising Cornish crosses that as they got older they would be basically bald, not have a lot of feathers on it. But we didn't experience that at all with these birds, and the quality of the meat it just looks excellent. So we can't wait to have it. It's like winner 47 chicken dinners. And these are some big dinners too. Think you're gonna be able to eat all that?
Yep.
I think you can. I'll help you. Maybe some curry chicken. What kind of chicken do you like? What kind of chicken do you guys like? I like curry chicken. I like fried chicken. What other kind of chicken like? Barbecue chicken. What about you? What kind of chicken do you like?
Are we gonna bubble gump this, you know?
What kind of chicken do you like?
I don't know. I like all
Teriyaki chicken,
all
hibachi
the
chicken.
you just mentioned. I like all those.
What about you, Laura? What
Fried
kind of-
chicken.
Fried chicken. Selah?
Fried chicken.
Fried chicken.
Fried chicken told me.
Fried chicken. What about you, Mark? What kind of chicken do you like?
Chicken.
Orange chicken.
Orange chicken?
Yeah.
Orange chicken, yum. Guys, let me know in the comment section below, what kind of chicken do you like to have? Bourbon chicken's good too. That was another one that comes to mind. Oh, and we can't forget Josiah. He's hanging out over here by the lawn tractor. What kind of chicken do you like, buddy?
Barbecue chicken.
Barbecue chicken. So fried chicken and barbecue chicken are up there with the popular ones around here.
So you don't wait till they're completely dry.
So the way that Lorraine taught us is that you just wait until they're not dripping anymore, and then you can put them in the bag.
Okay.
Alrighty, so we take our poultry shrink wrap bag here, open it up, somebody put it in.
I'm hoping these are gonna.
They'll fit in there. Just like that. We put our chicken in, put your straw in, put the air out, twist it around. You can hear that straw pumping the air out. Hear that? Alright, and then you take your zip tie, just like that. Put it snug, not too tight so you can still get the straw out. Then you take it right over here to our pot. Alright, and then we dip it in. You can just feel the air come out of the straw. A few seconds and you take it out. Seals it right around there pretty good. What are you doing there? Reliving your massage therapist days and giving the chicken some massage right
That's
there?
it. I just want to massage my future dinner. That's what it is. No, whenever they go in the ice bath, I mean, just think of any other muscle. It tenses up whenever it's in cold. So they're just tensed up. We're moving them a little bit to make them more pliable, to just fit in the bags. So, and they'll shrink down better.
Sounds good to me. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the last bird that we had to process and package. They're all in here in our refrigerator. We're gonna leave them and let them cool overnight before we introduce them to the freezer. But it's done. It's been a long day. It's been about 5 or 6 hours working on this, processing this with the team that we had today. But it's done. And I'm happy, but I'm also somewhat sad. I think back about 9 weeks ago when those chicks just arrived here on the homestead. We picked them up from the post office, brought them here, and we cared for them inside of our brooder. Then we moved them outside and we cared for them each day, providing them with feed, with water, with fresh grass. And most of the days, Micah right outside there with me, and that's something, a memory neat to think back on that we shared together, is tending to those birds together. And now that phase is done, it's done. And not sure where to go from here. Actually, I do want to say that we had the birds, the weight on them is really good. These birds turned out to be really well. We even had some that were 6 pounds. So that was excellent. It was an average of probably 5.5 pounds that we had overall. And I'm super excited about that. But thinking back on all this, it's like, where do we go from here? What do I do next? Should I raise another batch? Should I try turkeys or should I try some pasture ducks? Let me know in the comment section below what you think. But I'm tired right now. I'm ready to go inside. Definitely call it a day. We'll see you next time.